about anxiety. And something happened a couple of days ago that compelled me or triggered me to want to have this conversation with you all. I have notes because my brain, my mind, and sometimes I will forget important points, so I have it all written down. For me, my diagnosis is generalized anxiety, post-traumatic stress, complicated grief syndrome, and depression, and some OCD behaviors, which comes out of anxiety. When people have anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder, they worry. Their mind is constantly turning. They're fixated on this: death, money, finances, health, family. Their mind is always on those types of things. For me, it began in childhood with my dad. I was always worried about him dying. Like, he's gonna die. Who would tell me? I mean, as a little bitty girl, I would worry about him dying. My family is not a family that experienced death often or frequently until 2000, when my grandmother passed away. And then after that, my dad. Then after that, my mom. Then after that, my sister. Well, no, my dad, my uncles, my sister, stuff like that. So death wasn't something that I was familiar with as a kid. I don't know 100% why I was so obsessed with worrying about my dad dying. I have a clue, but that is something that I'm still working through in therapy and coaching. So I don't know 100% yet. So I don't want to say why it came into my life. And so from my worrying about my dad dying, I grew up or whatever, and eventually the thing that I feared happened. And for a while, I felt like I killed my dad. I really thought I killed him. Even though he died from complications from a motorcycle accident, I felt like I killed him. And then when my mom passed away, and then my sister, and that was so very traumatic because it was so unexpected and it was sudden. One moment I'm talking to her, the next moment she's dead. And it was just the most debilitating and crippling and devastating experience of my life. And so because of that, I developed post-traumatic stress syndrome on top of the grief, and then I became depressed because depression has never been my thing. I've always been anxious and had anxiety, but never depressed. But after my sister passed away, depression entered the picture along with the other diagnoses. So what I want to explain to people about anxiety is telling somebody with anxiety, oh, just stop worrying. It's like telling somebody with cancer, go into remission. It's not possible. That is the way their mind works. The mind gets stuck in these loops, and it's just in this loop, in this loop, in this loop. I'm worried they're gonna die. 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 That's all you can hear. But through coaching and therapy and medication and cognitive behavior trainings, I am learning, and I have learned how to pull my mind out of those loops. So when it's like, oh, they're gonna die, they're gonna die, they're gonna die. No, I know how to gently push that thought away. I know how to refocus my mind and reframe what I see. And I'm okay. Some days you gotta do it all day long, and then other days you'll do it a little bit here, a little bit there. It depends on when the thought comes. You have to understand that every thought that comes to your head is not your thought. And every thought that you think is not to be entertained. Some of that stuff just needs to be gently pushed away, and you replace it. And the way I help myself is I tell myself, death is a natural part of life. Death is a natural part of life. Because if I tell myself that, and when I understand that, then that takes the fear of death away. And it doesn't have to be as consuming, because as sure as we live, we are gonna die. And it's natural, but for whatever reason, it has always been my obsession that my loved ones are gonna die. I used to think that my dogs were dead. I used to think that Dee was dead. I used to think Tamaya was dead. I used to lay in the bed at night paralyzed with fear, like they're all dead. Everybody's dead. They're dead. I know they're dead. I know they're dead. And I couldn't move. I couldn't move. But I would get up and I would check eventually. Dogs were fine, Dee was fine, Tamaya was fine, everybody's fine. I had to get help and get training, mental training, cognitive behavior training to help me counteract. I even get those thoughts now, like they're dead. Like if Dee is laying in the bed and she's snoring and then she just suddenly stops snoring, instantly she dead. That's my mind. She dead. She dead. Plus Dee had a heart attack 2 years ago. So that didn't help my situation. So when she's sleeping and she stops snoring, I'm like, she's dead. It's just that casual. She's dead. But I know, no, she's not. She's not dead. Death is a natural part of life. She's not dead. I'll look over or I'll touch her or something and she'll move. Not dead. So people with anxiety, their minds get in these loops. It could be about death. It could be about money. It could be about future occurrences. Most of the things that we worry about aren't going to happen. In my case, the things that I worried about did happen. My dad did die. My grandma did die. My sister did die. But I would say I am an exception to the norm. And most things that we worry about when you have anxiety disorder, it's not going to happen. But if it did happen, you're going to be okay. You're going to be eventually. It may be hard. It may be horrible. It may be challenging. It may be crippling. It may knock you to your knees. But eventually, you will be procrastination. Okay. I used to be a humongous procrastinator. I still procrastinate, but not like I used to. I did not know that procrastination is a symptom of anxiety. I would have assignments and they would be so overwhelming that I would procrastinate and put them off and put them off. And I would be like, oh, I work well under pressure. And I do, but that's not true. It was anxiety. So now I've learned when I have an assignment, I break it up. I'll do this part today, do that part today, do that part next day, and I give myself a deadline. So if I have an assignment that I need to complete for someone, I give myself a deadline. Okay, I'm going to be done by Friday. How am I going to be done by Friday? Well, on Monday, I'm going to do this. And on Tuesday, I'm going to do that. And on Wednesday, I'm going to do that. And then Thursday, I'm going to do that. And then Friday, I wrap it up and I submit my assignment. By doing that, I've taken the pressure, I've taken the fear, I've taken the worry out of that assignment, and I don't procrastinate on the assignment. I get the assignment done and submitted and turned in on. Complicated grief syndrome or complicated grief disorder is when you're grieving and it has lasted longer than 6 months and it is consuming, sometimes debilitating. You have these thoughts that just keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back related to the deceased. For me, my sister wanted to be cremated. I did not want to do it. I will never do it again, but I wanted to honor her wishes, and so I did it. And when I cremated my sister, in my mind, I already felt like, in my anxious mind, in my ill mind, I felt like I killed my sister. I felt like I just controlled her whole life and I killed her. And then when I had to cremate her, I'm like, yep. I burn her up in the oven. I just put her in the oven and I burned. I mean, I literally saw myself pushing her into an oven and closing the door. Mind you, I don't know what the cremation process is like. I don't know what it looks like. I was gonna look it up and my life coach told me absolutely unequivocally, you are not to look that up. My psychiatrist told me, you will not look up cremation and how it is done, because that's me. I want to know how stuff happens, like what's going to happen to her or whatever. Not something that I needed locked up in my mind for the rest of my life. So complicated grief syndrome is I grieve. Some days are good, some days are bad. There's an ebb and there's a flow to grief, but I have two visions that come to my mind often. One is of her sitting in the recliner dead alone. And the other one is me putting her in the oven and burning her up. Now, I know that's not true. In my rational mind, I know that's not true. Was she in a recliner? Yes. Did she die in her recliner? Yes. Did I burn her up in the oven? No. Did I kill her? No. My rational mind understands that. My ill mind says, yes, you did. So but I understand that every thought that comes to me is not my thought and is not to be entertained. So I just gently push those thoughts away. I did not burn her up. My sister's in perfect peace. She's happy now. And I'm going to move forward. I have her ashes in this necklace. And I fixated on this necklace because I have an obsessive personality. I fixate. And I was so fixated. The reason why my sister's death was so traumatic for me was because I was so fixated and so obsessed with keeping her happy and keeping her alive. Not that she was unhappy, but she was all I had left to hold on to in my mental mind. All I got left is her because mama died and my daddy died and my grandma died and it's me and her and Joe and and my brother, and me and him ain't close like that, and my sister is all I got. I belong with her. I got it. I gotta hold on to her. And she died. And it was traumatic and it was horrible. And I cremated her. I had some of her ashes put into this necklace. And I never took it off. Never. I would take it off the shower every day and I would put it back on. Well, I developed contact dermatitis. And I went to the doctor like, what is wrong with my neck or whatever? Because this is all real. It's not fake. So I knew I didn't have cheap jewelry on. And I didn't even connect it to the necklace. And the doctor says, you got to take the necklace off. That broke my heart. Because to me, my sister has been taken away from me again. It took me about a week to take this necklace off. When I say my neck was on fire for like a week, I was on fire. Eventually, I took it off. And now I don't wear it as much. I wear it, but I don't need it to be okay. Like in the beginning, I needed it to be okay. I don't need it like that. Other ways that I cope with anxiety is my dogs, who you all will meet later this week. I have a life coach. I go to therapy. I go to group therapy. And I know ways of dealing with my anxious thoughts. One thing that happens when you have anxiety for me is that some days I'm so anxious that I'm afraid to go outside of my house. I'm afraid. The way I have begun to counteract that is every morning, in the morning, I get up, I get my dogs, and we go for a walk. We live in a subdivision, so it's quiet. I've been doing it today was day 2. And it is such a amazing experience because it's quiet. It's serene. Nobody's out. Nobody's moving. It's just me and my dogs. And we're walking. And it's peaceful. And it's quiet. And it's calm. And we just walk. Does it hurt? Yes. It irritates my pelvic floor. But for my mental being and my soul and my spiritual being, it is the best thing that I have done. This is a morning ritual that I see is going to change my life in a lot of ways. We did it. We went out this morning. I got my dogs. We went out. We walked. Like the first day I did it, I went too far. And I pushed my pain too far. My goal is to make it around the entire subdivision. When that will happen, I don't know. I don't have a deadline. When I'm out there walking with my dogs, it's like peace. It's perfectly still. Perfectly still. And we just walk. And we just talk. I talk to them, or I'm just quiet and I'm just listening for for God to say something to me. And I start my day like that. And it makes my day easier. And no matter what comes at me, I'm more balanced. I'm more settled in myself, because I can be frantic within myself. But when I'm walking, I'm none of that. I'm just, and my family gives me that time alone. Because when you have a family, it's difficult to get alone time. And so in the morning, I am able to just get my dogs and I go out, and it's just me and them and nature and God, and we walk. And it's wonderful. It is wonderful. So when you're dealing with a person who has anxiety or other mental illnesses, because anxiety, generalized anxiety, PTSD, depression, those are illnesses, just like arthritis, just like endometriosis, just like lupus, just like CP. It's an illness. They're sick. It is an illness. And people don't have a voice to say, I'm sick, I need help, because you get shamed into being quiet, especially black people, especially black women. We're the backbone of the family. We got to take it on the chin for the team. No, I'm not taking it on the chin for the team, because I will take it on the chin for the team and then I'm going to be dead and the team going to carry on. No, you have to get help. And so I share my experiences because some other woman can't share her experience, and hopefully she will come across this video and be like, hey, you know what, that's me, this is this. So hopefully it is teaching you something. Hopefully it's giving you some nuggets. Even with my sister and with grief, and the grief that I deal with, it was traumatic and it was horrible and it hurt me to my core. But when I'm fully recovered, I will be able to tell other people who are grieving, hey, I know a way out. I know a way out. And it ain't through closure. Closure is a myth. That's not real. It's unhealthy. It's counterproductive. No, you stay open and you come slowly, step by step, moment by moment, tear by tear, breath by breath. You can get out. The reason why I know I can get out is because, or I can help people get out, should I say, is because somebody came into their darkness and helped me get out. So I know that my videos lately, for whatever reason, my camera cut off. It's tripping. I don't know if I need a memory card or whatever. But I was ending my video with saying that I know my videos have been very kind of heavy, maybe intense for some people lately. But this is what my channel is about. My channel is for the whole woman, mind, soul, and body. That includes beauty. That includes makeup. That includes what happens on your insides. That includes what happens on your outsides. That includes everything that happens for a woman. This channel is for coming up on my channel. I am just super excited to be back, to even have the mind to record again, because for so long I was unable to do anything. I was unable to write. I was unable to record. I was unable to do anything except for get out the bed, go to the bathroom, and get back in the bed. But I am starting to come back around as I go through this recovery, and as I discover myself, and as I get my footing and get my life back together and adjust to my new normal without my sister, I am going to be okay. And that's what I want to leave you all with. When you're in those moments and you're feeling anxious, or you're feeling overwhelmed, or you're feeling like I just can't take it no more, I want you to just stop, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say, I'm going to be okay. Come what may, I'm going to be okay. Because that is the truth of the matter. If you want to, come what may, you will be okay. Thanks for watching. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, share. Talk to me in the comment section. You got questions? I probably have an answer. And I will talk to you all in another video. And remember, breathe in, breathe out. I'm going to be okay. Bye, guys.